Thank you for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an Amazon KDP business for sale in the religion and spirituality and children's niches. Created in September of 2017, this business makes $2,906 per month in net profit, and the listing number for the business is 46285. We do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the businesses they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Claudia, thank you for coming on here today. How are you doing?
I'm really good. How are you?
Doing excellent. I'm very excited to discuss this business with you, but before we dive into the questions that I would like to run through a little quick summary of the business. Again, it was created in September of 2017, has a monthly revenue of $3,712, expenses of $806 to make for a net profit of $2,906, which is generated on a 7-month average. Included in the sale of this business are the Amazon KDP account, ACX account, all books, ebooks, audiobooks, and pen names, and a Facebook account. Claudia, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, so I started the business whilst in Bali. I met a couple of people that were also doing Amazon publishing. She had no idea about it prior to that. I found out some information from them. I took a course, so I'm part of some publishing groups, and I learned all about publishing. And it kind of started from there. I've just been doing loads of research, seeing patterns, talking to other publishers, seeing, how things are done, researching, experimenting with different things, seeing what works, what doesn't. And it's got me to where I am today.
So why have you decided to sell the business?
So I'm currently doing a little bit of e-commerce and building a store with my boyfriend. When I started that, I didn't realize how much time and effort it would take. So I've noticed that I'm not spending enough time on my Kindle business. And because I've put so much effort into it, I don't want it to just let it go to waste, the hard work and the research I've done. So instead of, just letting it go because I don't have enough time to spend on, researching new books and releasing, I'd just like to sell it to hopefully to someone that will be able to do what I've been doing and grow it even more.
That makes sense. And so since you say that you don't have the time to run this and grow this because of the amount of time it takes to maintain the e-commerce business, how much time would you say that you do spend on this business?
So the business is, I don't have to spend a lot of time on it day to day. With the books that are already released, it's a maximum an hour a day. It's just if I'm looking to release new books, especially around Christmas time, Q4 is really busy. So I know that in the future, when things will get busy, I won't be able to run the two businesses alongside each other. When I was doing just Kindle, it would literally be an hour or two a day, unless I really wanted to do loads of research and have 2, 3, 4 books released in a month, then obviously that time would go up. But just for pure maintenance, it's an hour a day maximum.
And, being in maintenance mode with 1 hour a day, what are you doing during that time for the business?
So every day I will check on my ads, make sure that everything's doing well, adjust bids on keywords, start new campaigns or end campaigns that aren't performing the way I would like them to. Just there's very little to do once the books are already published and, the audiobooks have been recorded. I check on my numbers every day just to make sure that everything's ticking over nicely. I go on ACX to make sure that, I'm still selling, things are doing as they have been. That's pretty much it. If I have a book being made, I'll message the writer, or, if I need to get a cover made, I'll do a little bit of research on that. But there really isn't, too much to do.
How many books do you have for this business?
So I have 13 ebooks, 23 paperbacks, and 13 audiobooks. I am also currently working at the moment on a new book, which should be released in the next week or so. And that will be another paperback, another ebook, and another audiobook.
And do you write the content yourself or do you outsource it?
So everything is outsourced. I work with freelancers that, I've built a really good relationship with. I have spoken to them all and they would be very happy to carry on working with the buyer. All I do is the research. So I find the niches that are profitable or that I want to publish books in. I have certain criteria that I'm looking for, which again, if the buyer wanted to learn my technique, I'll be very happy to show them what I do in that respect. And then I produce like a short description of the things that I want and do not want in the book, and I'll send that on to the writer. And then he will write the book for me. It usually takes 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how long the book is. And yeah, once the book is done, he'll send a copy to me. I always read it just to make sure that I'm happy with everything. And yeah, the book is ready to be published.
So you mentioned that you do research. So how do you pick the niches and topics that you want books on?
So I look at trends, see what's currently selling, hot topics. But everyone kind of does research differently. I also look at what audiobooks are selling. So a lot of money can be made through audiobooks. So, that's a really good place to look for new niches. I have a look at the top 100 of Amazon. But recently, because I have discovered a really good niche, so I have just been producing books around that niche for my business. So when people search within that niche, they'll be able to see a whole range of books from me. And the same with my children books. I have found profitable niche, and I've just been producing books around that to build, an author profile. So when people see, search anything really to do with children's books, they'll be able to see my name somewhere there.
You also have a Facebook page for this business, correct?
Yes.
Can you explain the purpose of it?
So I've started it just to build an audience. I haven't sold anything to them. I've just pasted a link into some of my books, and from there, people have obviously joined the group. And it's just around a niche that I know people are interested in. And once I can gather enough people in the group, I'll be able to use them for different purposes, like, selling my books or selling other products, getting their email addresses. But for now, yeah, I'm just growing it to see where I can get it to, and I will take it from there once it gets to a number that I feel comfortable with, where I can start marketing to them.
So in addition to growing that Facebook page and using it for marketing, what are the other opportunities for growth that you would focus on if you were to keep the business?
So the main thing I would say is Q4, which if someone was to buy their business right now is the perfect time for them to get to grips with exactly how the business works. And then I would focus on publishing as many books as possible for Q4 and then marketing them, getting the ball rolling as soon as possible on them, because like my children books in Q4 do very, very well. So that's exactly what I would be focusing on, growing that side of the business.
Yeah, you mentioned the children's books doing very well in Q4. You had a significant spike for the business in Q4 of this year. Is that correct? Or this prior year?
Yes, that's right.
Mm-hmm. So do you feel like there are any potential risks associated with this business that a new owner should be aware of?
No, I think as long as the new owner does their research, they make sure that they're publishing in niches that are, accepted by Amazon, so they're not publishing in trademark keywords, there's no risks to the business. It's very simple, it's very easy to upkeep, and it's very scalable as well, which is obviously a massive benefit. If the buyer did what I did last year and released, say, 5 or 10 books instead of the like 3 or 4 that I did, they'll be able to take the business to a whole new level.
Would you commit to a non-compete?
Yes.
How much support are you willing to offer a new owner during the transition period?
As much as they need. I know how hard it is when you first start and you have no support. So I would 100% be able to take them through everything step by step, introduce them to, the people that make the covers for my books, my audio books, the writers. I can show them some publishing groups that I'm in where they'll be able to learn from and ask questions. I'll show them which YouTube channels I watch, where other publishers talk about trends and how to do things and how not to do things. So, as much support as they need, I'm willing to give.
Are you open to negotiating on something like an earnout, where perhaps a percentage of the proceeds from the sale would be paid out in the coming months rather than all of it at front?
No.
Claudia, thank you very much for taking the time with me today. I really appreciate it. Before I let you go, my final question. If you were looking at this business from the perspective of a potential buyer, why would you feel like it is an asset worth buying?
So the business is an asset because it's growing. There's loads of opportunity with releasing new books. The Facebook group can be grown to a big extent. There's a huge amount of opportunities in the niches that I currently have books in. So I don't see why anyone would struggle with running the business. So my involvement in the business is very minimal. The processes have been streamlined. The writers know my expectations, so they work exactly how I want them to. Everything is put in place. So if there was anyone taken over from me, the transition period would be very, very easy.
Claudia, thank you very much for taking the time with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for speaking to me.
If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And if you want more information, the link will be below the video that will take you to this marketplace listing. If you are watching this on the listing page and want more information, become a depositor today. When you make the deposit, one of our business advisors will be in contact with you, and you'll be given everything you need to review this business. Have a great day.